All right, it's Mark, and it's time to start another show. Now, I have a bunch of just random topics to talk about tonight. Nothing in particularly, special. So in the chat, it seems like a lot of people have seen Kubo, and I haven't heard anything bad about Kubo so far. But I'll probably be seeing it in like 2 weeks or so, because this weekend I'm actually going camping for 3 days. So I won't be here, and I don't know. I might sneak into the theater early, but anyways, so let's see. So first off, everything you see here on our screen tonight is actually brand new. I had to redesign everything. One of my friends, Andy, sent me a video card for my computer, and it's a long story, but he sent it to me for free. And unfortunately, the monitors that I had set up didn't work with what I have here, with my card. And so I had to take a monitor from the garage and bring it in here and switch monitors around and stuff. So the screen is actually full HD. So I don't know if that actually matters in terms of broadcasting. But I do know that like tonight's show is kind of an experiment to see if it works. kind of pumping out more data tonight, more video space to broadcast, and of course that hurts the bandwidth a bit. So I'm hoping that everything will be fine. I did notice that loading up web pages on the side here are kind of slow. So we'll just see what happens and play it by ear, but so far so good. Let's get rid of the welcome screen. So now, first thing I wanted to mention actually is that most people are thinking that we don't have another monthly challenge or 5-week challenge, and I can kind of understand why. For some reason, the last topic that I posted, I guess if you make a reply on any of these threads, they will go to the top, and so I guess Claymara replied to this topic, so it pushed it to the top. But actually, if you look here, you'll see August 3rd to September 7th is another topic. It's Pokemon, and we did start this a week late because Hunkbug, I guess, who won the previous topic, he went on vacation. So actually, you know what? I'm kind of noticing that some of the chat here is getting. Let's see here. I'm going to edit this. I think that we're missing some of the chat. Where am I? Okay, here I am. There we go. Okay, now everybody can read all of this stuff going on in the chat. I didn't realize that till now when I was reading it. But anyways, so Hunkbug did not reply to me when I told him he won, and I thought maybe, you know, I was trying not to let my imagination go too far and think that maybe he drove off a cliff or something. But he did reply, and but we chose the new topic, which is Pokemon. And I don't know if that's good or bad, because I heard that Pokemon Go, they've lost like all of their players that were playing it. Like everybody just kind of gave up. I don't know why. I think it just lost its charm, and people are like, well, this is kind of, you know, it's cool, but, you know, maybe there's some reason why. I don't know. I've never played it myself. My son, who is 7, and my wife kind of messed with it one time at the park when it first came out, and it seemed like everybody was out playing it. And I heard that even Facebook and all these other social media sites had lost a lot of you know, people. They weren't going on there anymore because of Pokemon Go. And then I heard, you know, of course, that they dropped all their players. They got bored with it. And of course, the weather is going to change and get cold anyway. So it seems kind of like a weird thing. Like, you can't really play that game all year round, you know, like if there's rain and stuff. So, but anyway, that's the topic we chose. So hopefully you guys are still interested in that. So it's going to end on September 7th. And of course, if you create an animation, just click the link here in our forums, and post a reply, and that will be where you can enter your entry, I guess you could say. Okay. So let's see here. So okay, yeah, just make sure you guys don't give any spoilers in the chat about Kubo. That wouldn't be good, because so many people haven't seen it, and of course I want to see it too. So I don't want to be I don't want to know any plots or anything, even though I kind of know anyway. All right, so moving forward, we've sort of reached a milestone with our YouTube channel. We now have 1,010,000 views on our videos, so that's pretty cool. I don't really know what to make of it. It's been, I think I started this channel, when did I start this channel? A long time ago, so it's taken a long time to get 1 million views. Since 2000, so 10 years. So what does that translate to? Well, I guess you know, most channels, there's a lot of channels that are, you know, they have like millions of views on just one video. So we're definitely not the most popular site out there, or YouTube channel. But I want to thank you guys all for actually watching my videos. That's pretty cool that you guys have done that, and that's awesome. Oh. Somebody from Tennessee was calling me. I had to hang up. All right. So anyways, now moving forward again. So I heard about this game Armacrog. Is actually, it's been out for a long time. If you guys have, we've talked about it, I guess. Doug TenNapel had created this. I'm pretty sure you guys know about it. But for PS4, they're actually releasing it. And so this site, which is the PlayStation.blog. Oh man, let me just turn my phone off here. Power off. They can leave a voicemail. Oh, Janet is saying, when I was 5 years old, I watched a Pokemon cartoon, but now I hate it. Oh yeah, Ronco, that's right. Yeah, it's pretty much dead. I think that they showed the numbers and it just took a nosedive. Like nobody's playing it anymore. So what's weird about that is there's so many investors that invested in that, and they're all upset. And I guess Nintendo is technically not even the main owner of Pokemon, or it's some other company, and they're all really scrambling to figure out how to make it more fun or something. So yeah, but Armacrog, of course, is a much cooler game, I must say, because it is stop motion. And let's see, it looks like on the PS4 it's only going to be $9.99, which is a really great price. And like I say, we've covered this before. It's a really cool project that Doug TenNapel had put together, and he's a creator of Earthworm Jim. And of course, the Neverhood. The Neverhood is sort of similar to what this game is. It's a kind of point and click sort of what do you want to call it? You got to solve a lot of puzzles and navigate your way around, and of course get away from the bad guys. And it's actually pretty neat. And they have a lot of these like cutscenes that are all stop motion, and that's kind of where you can learn about the characters in the cutscenes, and they're all kind of course humorous, and it's a lot of slapstick. But yeah, I mean, we've kind of talked about it before. Here's a picture. I'm not sure if I've actually seen this one. Looks like some replacement parts. So people usually associate video games like Pokemon Go with being sprites, having sprites or other graphical images that are done in a computer, like in Maya or Softimage or even Flash or whatever. But this is all stop motion. You can see, I'm not really sure if these are what these are here, but we've got some arms, we've got some heads, and a whole heck of a lot of paint and spray paint here. And it's just so cool to see that. Actually, just looking at the image, I mean, just to see how they've created all these different parts. And it looks like they must have used a mold here, and then they've painted them. So I'm not really sure why they needed so many arms like this, but that's still kind of interesting. Alright, so PlayStation 4 Armacrog, definitely check it out. And okay, so yep, thanks Randy. I'm sure you've viewed a few of my films, so let's see. And why would anyone think that the Pokemon thing was more than a fad? Well, it is kind of cool. It's kind of like that augmented reality game that Phil Tippett was working on. A lot of companies are trying to figure out how to make all that stuff work, including for stop motion. So if somebody finds a successful way, or I don't know, financially or through just number of players, if they figure it out, then it's actually good for stop motion in a way, I would think. All right, so now Randy Boyum. Speaking of you, Randy, I saw that you had posted, I think on Facebook, you said something about like your car breaking down, your washing machine breaking down, and all this other stuff, and your camera not working and software not working. And so Randy had to get a whole new setup for his stop motion films, and he finally got to post a picture of his grandma puppet here, which we can click on. And he says, dance like no one's watching, because I'm pretty sure no one's watching. So anyway, it'll be neat to see this come to life. I know that Randy's been working on this for a while and has gone through just a lot of frustration. And we've all been there. I mean, I used to have old equipment and had to transfer or relearn how to use a frame grabber. I got Dragon Frame for Zombie Pirate Tales, and the new stuff that is out there is just so convenient compared to what I used to use, which is surface gauges and an animation lunchbox from Animation Toolworks. I don't know if you guys remember that, but it was something that I used for so many years, and it was so basic, and it would capture like how many frames? 200 and was it 56 frames? Was it that many? And I used all these. It was like analog, and if the electricity went out, you'd lose everything, all of your frame grabbed images. And so I mean, I'm sure, Randy, you're gonna just love using a DSLR and Dragon Frame. You're gonna really like that. But so pretty neat that you posted that, and I really like the what is that, Saturday Night Fever type pose you got going on there. Hey Brian, wow, I haven't seen you in a while. What's going on? So Brian, yes, I've looked at your Facebook wall recently. I saw a lot of your dismantling of a lot of things in your house, or perhaps remantling. I don't know. But welcome to the show. Now, so Randy says the Canon camera I got was recommended by Stop Motion Pro, but then it didn't talk to their new software Eclipse. They finally sent a patch, and I'm up and running. Great. Oh, okay. So you actually use Stop Motion Pro. I'm sorry, Randy. Ah, okay. That's right. That's right. What am I thinking? So Randy says, yes, Granny's pose is literally Saturday Night Fever. So anyways, now if you guys haven't visited our fan page, our Facebook fan page, I did post the link to our what we just talked about, Armacrog, which you can click on. And there's a new gallery, which has a ton of pictures for Kubo. And these are really cool photos. And I'm thinking this here, you probably won't find pictures like these anywhere else. I think this is somebody that went to one of the exhibits. Looks like photos from the Kubo and the Two Strings pop-up exhibit, Japanese American National Museum of Los Angeles. Maquettes and puppets. So these are all original puppets and so forth. So it's, if you go see this, it's probably going to be something you'd want to spend a lot of time and take lots of pictures for yourself and just absorb everything, because there's so much detail in everything. I mean, actually, is there an address here? So it is much better to see this in person. It says August 13th to Tuesday, August 30th. That's pretty cool. So there's actually 6 more days left, and you can visit their site, which is janm.org, and then /visit, which you can see here. And it's 100 North Central Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90012. They've got a phone number as well and a fax. Street closures and traffic detours. So it looks like there's some construction going on around there. And their hours are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday to Sunday, 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. So I don't know what it costs. Probably a small fee, which probably couldn't be too expensive. But just some of the things they have. I mean, look at this puppet. Just amazing, really. And all the detail. I mean, even the way that the fabric has the wrinkles in there. And like, if you guys recall the interview we had with Anthony Scott, talking about how they were making puppets out of paper, essentially. Or at least the external parts were paper. And I made mention that, when you bend paper, or you want to have like a puppet walk with a paper leg, you'd probably want to pre-crease it so that it folds where you want it to. And with this, it almost looks like they must have done something similar too, unless just by bending the puppet back and forth, all these creases formed. But it's almost like they've sculpted the fabric somehow, like in the arms here, because all of this, you know, is so like deliberate looking that I'm just wondering how they did that. Yeah, Janet, I've been looking at all those things that you've been sending. I appreciate that. The Kubo links and stuff. There's so much out there now. There's so much talk about Kubo. It's really something that people are enjoying a lot, and I haven't seen any negative reviews. Which, I mean, in a way, it's a kids film, so it's kind of hard to be really cynical about a kids film. Like, I can't really imagine people being like, "Oh, this is the worst movie ever." So, yeah, lots and lots and lots of pictures on here. Some of the designs, and drawings, and sketches, and prototypes, and everything. What happens if I do this? Oh. Alright, that's a bit too large, but... So Brian says that paper comes in many forms. And CB says the fabric has weights sewn into it to give it weight. Wow. No kidding. I mean, that kind of makes sense, but... So Beard Botanist says, yeah, I saw another video where they stick the fabric onto thicker material before putting it together to get the weight they want. Ah. So maybe thicker fabric, maybe some weights in there, things like that. Yeah, no spoilers, guys. No spoilers. So let's move forward here. Let's get some more here. Oop, it's like a repeat image. So these are some kind of like maybe some shoulder pads for Kubo or something. Looks like some shoes, perhaps. And you know, I think there's like an app for Kubo. It's like you put your cell phone camera on your own face, and then you click a button, and then you turn into Kubo and the other characters. You know, it's kind of weird. It's kind of creepy. So look at the detail. I mean, all this stuff is so super detailed. And this is really small. You know, these are just like push pins stuck into a wall for scale. I mean, just look at how small these things are. All these little knots and all the little weaves and I don't know what this is made from, but some of this stuff looks like maybe like paper, maybe leather. I don't know. I'm sure they used a bazillion different materials. See here. So oh yeah, so speaking of Aardman stuff, there's another link I want to show you guys that I posted. I'm not going to show the video because YouTube will scold me and kick me offline and all that kind of good stuff, but let me see. Close this and close this again. If you guys are interested in seeing that more about that, to go to janm.org, and that's where you can learn about actually seeing that in person if you live in LA. Oh, where is it? Here we go. Let me scroll down. Alright, so I don't know if you guys have watched this, but if not, please visit our fan page. Adam Savage meets Aardman Animations Puppets is what it's called. I'm just going to click it. I'm not going to actually play it. So Aardman will hopefully not beat me up for just maybe showing an image or two. Kind of go forward here. But it says here, a special visit to the cave this week as two friends from Aardman Animation visit Adam and bring along Some of their amazing stop-motion animation puppets. Jimmy and Gary work at Aardman's model shop and show Adam the intricate details that go into each puppet, plus a surprise for Adam. And the surprise is pretty cool. It's a big surprise, and the funniest part about this whole video is Adam's reaction to the surprise at the end. But here you can see on the table there's some puppets that they've made at Aardman from Pirates. I guess actually these are from Shaun the Sheep and Pirates, and not sure what this one here is, but they kind of go over the whole process and even talk a little bit about the toxicity of some of the things they have to do just to paint their puppets. There's another screen still from the video showing kind of the details of the hand here, and but it's really fascinating, and they get into all these different details and the armatures, and this is like a cutaway version so you can see what the insides look like. They talk about how they make the rubber gloves, all kinds of stuff, and it's just really fascinating. So if you guys want to see this, I would highly recommend it. It's called Adam Savage Meets Aardman Animations Puppets, and it's from Tested. Tested is Adam's YouTube channel is really famous. A lot of people go and visit it. He talks about making props for live action and puppets, and you can see in the sidebar here he makes a model kit, this one's actually pretty cool too. The history of Aardman, that's not part of it, that's not Tested, but Star Wars, Han Solo, carbonite refrigerator, so all these bizarre, oddball things that, people turn props into, and making puppets and all. It's just a lot of fun. So I'm subscribed, and so that's how I found out about this, and this came out August 11th. So I'm not really sure why Aardman was in the vicinity of Adam. I'm not really sure why they were there, if it was like just a special visit. Doesn't really say anything here, but either way, it's just a lot of fun. And of course, you can find that on our fan page. Let's see. So Beard Botnik says many times it's not a free press thing, so much as YouTube's automated system picking things up generally to avoid reposts. Ron Cole, I guess you've seen it. Yeah, the surprise is pretty amazing. I mean, it's not like super complex, but it's really cool and personal, right? I thought Adam was gonna cry or something. So Beard Botnik says, I really like their clay resin hybrid for faces. I'm going to try that out sometimes. Yeah, having a sort of underskull that uses resin of some sort, or even like a ping pong ball, like if your character has a round head, anything like that. It's kind of important just for weight purposes, because clay is so heavy. You almost need to add like styrofoam or some kind of hollow structure, something like even what do you call those things? The little containers that you get when you go to a store where they're selling like gumballs and little kids toys and those little what do you call those? But all the little plastic containers you can use as well, because they're hollow, and you take the toy out, of course, and you can use that for a body. I mean, there's just so many tricks to making puppets lighter, but Aardman probably uses like molds and casts them and does a little slush cast and all that, so it's 10 times more complicated. And Brian is asking Tested. Yep, Tested. That's their YouTube channel name, Tested. And Beard says Tested also did some videos about Tippett's stuff around the time the new Star Wars came out. Yeah, they actually went to Phil Tippett's studio and looked at the like the hollow chests that they set up, and that was a really cool episode. Let's see, what time is it? All right, so moving forward again. Let's see, who was it? Oh man, Let me look at this real quick on the side. Yes, the internet is loading slow for me. I wish the internet was working faster. See, I think that broadcasting has really slowed my... Let's see here. Either that or our webpage is loading extra slow for some reason. There we go, of course. That's his name, Mr. Force. Mr. Force sent me some links. And... where did my chat go? It must be up to the side. Here it is. There we go. Now I can see what you guys are saying. Alright. You guys are probably wondering what I'm talking about because you can't see. Anyway, Mr. Force, he sent me a link to this guy, and his name is, well, I'm not really sure if it's his name. I think EDU might be for, like, education, short for education. I know a lot of schools will use EDU in their email addresses and stuff. And his last name is Puertas. And he's got this playlist, and I'm gonna link to this later after the show, and he explains how to use Arduinos and use motion control and how to set it up for stop motion. So this is really cool, and what he does with it is just kind of simple things like camera moves and stuff that is more or less repetitive and well, very simple stuff. Like, I think in one scene he has like a moon rising or a sun setting or something like that. And the purpose of it is to hook it up to Dragon Frame, which, you know, like I say, I think you can use Stop Motion Pro as well. They're all, you know, pretty much, I think the two programs are getting kind of the same now. But you hook it up, and like here you can see where he's just got like a sun that goes around, right? Really simple. But of course, how you do it is what, you know, the mystery is, right? So he kind of shows how you can set up all the stuff and how you plug it all together, and it's pretty cool. I don't know if I would do it, you know, use this myself. I think it seems almost more complicated to do it with motors and things. Stepper motors, like, you know, just moving a sun around, it just doesn't seem like it would take a lot of effort. But I think the point he was making in the video when I was watching it is that it kind of frees you up and allows you to focus more on like your puppet or whatever you're trying to you know, do like more intricate animation with. And so this kind of like makes it really simple to just click a button and it animates itself essentially. So it kind of goes into that, and I'm not gonna play this whole video because, like I say, YouTube will shut me down. But you know, it's kind of good to know. It's something that you never know when you can use something like that. And being that Dragon Frame is set up to use such a system, you know, who knows? You could actually use something like this to add motion blur to a lot of your things. Like if you have, let's say, like a Ferris wheel or something, and you want to have motion blur and do some kind of go motion stuff, you could use one of these motors and have it move during a long exposure, right? So it's not, you know, some of this stuff is, and it's very precise, which is always important. So you get an equal amount of blur, for example, in your shot, or at least maybe not equal, but accurate, because you could do eases in and easing outs and stuff like that. So and then there's more. There's you know, drivers, how to use drivers with Arduinos, because the Arduino is the thing that's actually sort of powering the motor and controlling it and moving it so that Dragon Frame is talking to it, and then the Arduino is, I guess, actually powering the motors. But there's a bunch of these tutorials on here, and they're from different people. So this one is, of course, from Edu Puertas, and then we have one Dragon Frame motion control how-to from, looks like, Shutter Broke. And I have not watched all these. These are all, mysterious things for me right now. But again, they're talking about the hardware. It looks like the Arduino, um, and a lot of this stuff. If you guys have Radio Shack around you someplace, Radio Shack has all this kind of stuff. And I think the other type of system that you can use is like a Raspberry Pi, which you can program to do pretty much anything. I mean, and these systems here on them, like the Raspberry Pi, I think has Linux built into it, which is an operating system. Which I don't know anything about it. I've never used it, other than I know that a lot of servers for websites use it and everything. But it's got a lot of flexibility on what you can do, and I believe on these boards you can even hook it up to like a monitor and use it as a computer. So that's kind of why they use these with DragonFrame in essence, because you can talk to it and it can talk back and give you feedback. And but anyways, so we've got Easy Driver with Arduino from Lewis Laughlin. There's a lot of videos, and the playlist, I guess maybe the person who created the playlist, Moko DragonFrame, looks like, let's see here. So this is the creator of the playlist. So if you guys want to find this on your own, go on YouTube and type in SEJ space LAEW. That's the name of the person who created the list. It's got 1 subscriber. So not very popular. But obviously he's a stop motion fan, and I'm assuming it's a he. But looks like we got Stop Motion Mind. That's another playlist. A lot of stuff in, I don't know, maybe is that Arabic? I'm not sure. But here you can see the playlist, and on the second page of the playlist is the Moko DragonFrame playlist. Like I say, I'll put this on our fan page so you guys can find this later. But they've got tutorials on how to control a stepper motor with an Arduino. So everything is kind of along the same lines. And Mr. Force is possibly working on something similar to this, which we might reveal in the near future, whenever that happens, which I can't really talk about. But it's kind of exciting and kind of neat. So. All right, thanks Noomvem. Thanks a lot. So Beardbotnik says, I think it's really useful to use Arduino for camera and lighting changes. Yeah, for lighting changes, that's a great idea, actually. And I'm sure that Leica, has, I'm not really sure if Leica is using Arduinos and stuff, but back in the day in the 90s when they were still Will Vinton Studios, they had a dedicated person that actually worked on frame grabbing. He was an electronic engineer, and he ended up making the animation lunchboxes, I guess. But he worked for them for so many years, and I can't remember his name, unfortunately. But I'm sure Leica has either the same person or somebody else who is working on, motion control stuff constantly, I would think, because all they have on their, feature films are motion controlled cameras and rigs and lights and props and, all kinds of stuff. And somebody probably, maybe would know about all these kind of things that works there. And so this is really an integral part of stop motion. And the thing is it's such a technical thing, and it's not really related to puppets and set building and animation. So it's not something that most people pay a lot of attention to. So, well, yeah, servo motors, Brian, that's what they're using. Servo motors, they're using stepper motors. I imagine you could probably use all kinds of different motors, but I think that stepper motors and servos are the only two you could really control with any sort of accuracy. So, let's see. All right. Now I think I can probably show this. This is something that Jeff Lafferty created, and he's been working on this for a long time. And Jeff has been a stop motion fan for many years, and his main sort of craft is illustration, and he's made all kinds of amazing illustrations. Let's see here. He's got a Patreon as well, and this is something that some of you guys out there might consider doing. Patreon is something that I mean, I'm not really sure I want to do this myself because I have our online store, and the online store is what is paying for, you know, all that you see here tonight through sales. But he doesn't have anything like that, so he's got a Patreon, and it's really cool. He's got 32 patrons and makes $143 a month, so he can put that towards, you know, making his YouTube channel you know, more intricate or higher quality, maybe get a camera or something like that, perhaps, I don't know. But it's really neat how he's incorporated that into his YouTube channel. Let me see if I can quickly show you guys what he does. I know he's a fan of our site too, which is kind of cool. So let's see. So in his videos, so if you guys are into illustration, it's really fun because he has usually guests on, and he will sit down and do these sort of illustration brainstorming. You know, I don't really know what you want to call it, but they'll just talk about anything during a live broadcast while he's doing stuff. And maybe I can kind of, is this one of them? This might be one of them. Well, anyway, it's pretty awesome. You can see here just roughly, you know, what he does, and he'll kind of show how he sketches characters. And here's, I guess, Kylo Ren for Star Wars. Now I can't draw to save my life, so when I see, like, you know, Jeff or anybody else doing stuff like this, it just kind of amazes me that from out of their brain they can do this. That they can pre-visualize where the lines have to go and put it exactly where it needs to go. I have a real problem with that personally. Now with sculpting, you know, sculpting I can sort of visualize stuff in 3 dimensions and create that, but to think of something in 3 dimensions and make it as a 2D surface, I mean, I'm horrible at that. So, but that kind of gives you guys an example of what he does, and he's got guests on here. So here he's got Jason Brubaker, not really sure. So different format than our broadcast. You know, he's more oriented on discussions about drawing, you know, and illustration, as opposed to stop motion. But he did make this stop motion film recently called The Wolf's Heart, Episode 1. And I'm going to try to... Not sure if this is going to work. Let me see. It does work. Okay. Because I had to reset up all this stuff recently after I got this new monitor. But we're going to watch this. It's 2 minutes long. And hopefully YouTube doesn't penalize me for it. So let's see.
Huh? Who goes there? Someone there? All right, you, come on out. Show yourself. Ha! Huh? Eyes must be playing tricks on me. Could have swore I saw...
So you can see that he's got a making of and like behind the scenes videos as well. So he kind of shows how he built the puppets and the sets, and I think also some of the designs as well, because of course he's an illustrator. So so if you guys want to, you might want to subscribe. And so his name is Jeff Lafferty, and so he's a fellow stop motion artist, and definitely somebody that's very inspiring to look at his work. All right. So anyway, we've got about 15 more minutes left. Do you guys have any questions or want to discuss anything or links to anything that you want me to show or anything like that? Because really, I'm out of ideas for tonight. Let me put this back on. There we go. Get the chat back. Yeah, Brian, if you want to talk one of these days, we should talk. Definitely. I don't have your phone number, but hopefully you weren't the person that was calling before that I turned my phone off on because of our broadcast. If that was you, I apologize. Yeah, so anyways, I am going to see Kubo, hopefully, like I say, within 2 weeks. I'm really excited. And again, if you guys have not seen The Little Prince on Netflix, you guys definitely need to watch that. I know that they probably won't keep that on Netflix forever. And I think it usually takes like 6 months to a year before they start dumping old films off their site, which really is kind of depressing that they do that. But I know for legal purposes, they kind of, whatever contracts they have with studios, they do their own thing regardless of what we care about. But so Gav Mippy, or MyPie, how do I say it? You're asking to show one of your animations? Yeah, if you want me to, sure, but you'll have to send it either to my email address. So there's my email address right there, mark@animateclay.com. If you can send it there, a link, I can show it, sure. Any rumblings about what might be next for Leica, Ron is asking. All I know is that they are ramping up production. They're trying not to have pauses in between their films. So this is something that I know Will Vinton had a problem with. Because what do you do in between projects, right? You got to fire everybody, then you got to rehire everybody, and then it's kind of, the whole process is one in which, if you're trying to stay competitive, I guess, you will want to retain all of your employees and keep them hired on and keep them busy nonstop so that they won't go to Aardman Animations or Bix Pix or Cup of Coffee or wherever, any of the other studios. So they're really trying to I think they're actually working on 2 projects right now, or they were working on 2 projects, Kubo and then another one back to back, to sort of make sure everybody doesn't get a break. I have not watched Stranger Things yet. Nope, have not. So Gav, did you hopefully you got my email address. Just feel free to copy a link over. And let's see. So Brian says Leica sold off their commercial branch. Rolls eyes. Did they ever have a commercial branch though? One of the things that I had to say, which I find weird, is that to this day, I don't understand why Travis Knight didn't just make his own studio and let Will Vinton retain. I know it's all based on stocks and bonds and all that kind of crazy stuff, but it seems like the moral thing would have been to make your own studio and let Vinton retain his studio, which he was still doing commercial stuff. That was kind of his bread and butter, was California Raisins and the Domino's Pizza Noid and all that kind of stuff. So, so Beard says, and how special is right next door too, made of ex-Leica members. Ah, okay. So how special, and that's interesting. I don't know much about them, so I'm gonna have to look that up later. And Brian says Pinocchio Del Toro got lost in the shuffle. Yep, that's on hold right now, from what I've read. And the Clayman says saw Sausage Party a few days ago. Surprised at how adult it really was. Wonder when stop motion feature will be made for grown-ups. Yeah, that's a good question. You know, I think that was something that Travis Knight said something about their next film, which they haven't really said much about, but he's hinted that it's not there's not a child protagonist in there. I think he said. I think they're going to aim towards something different and more for adults, which would be very nice, I think. But it probably won't be like an Adult Swim type thing, you know. Probably for intellectual people, more so than you know, the college crowd. I'm thinking. Kind of completely guessing there, but so Beard says Leica was doing commercials before they did feature films. Yeah, but that was, I think, wasn't that still when Will Vinton was in there, and they sort of, yeah, I don't think they were doing too much though, were they? Because once Coraline started up, they were pretty much doing just features, from what I understand, but maybe I'm wrong. It's all part of their crazy history. And Brian says Travis Knight's dad. Yeah, I think if you own so many stocks, you can kick off people, and that whole system is kind of weird. I think Webster Colcord and some other people were talking about that recently. It's like Hillary Clinton, who, you know, I don't like Hillary or Trump. I'm not really into either politician. But Hillary Clinton was talking about that system and how it's kind of antiquated. Not really. So Gav, let me see. I'm going to check my email real quick. So if you sent your animation, we can load it up here. Or even if you could just tell me the title of it. Oh, I got it. Never mind. Oh, let's see here. Copy link location. I'll bring it up here in just a sec. It's always cool to see what people are working on. So let me see. Where am I? Load this up. All right. Well, let's check it out. Got some short. It's like 5 seconds long. Let's make this bigger. Maybe do this. Let's check it out here. Cool. Got some little morph animation there. Looks like the ball turns into like a turkey. Or a rooster. Rooster, perhaps. What am I saying? Turkey. Rooster. Well, let's see. What can I say about this? What can we say? Well, first off, it's a really cool attempt. I think, you know, for your first sort of animations, you started out with one object and aimed for the second, and I can see you sort of sculpted the transitions really well. That's pretty good. Not too bad. So we got some more here. Let me see. Oh, see, I have to open it. Oh, there we go. 1 second here. Gonna copy the link over. Sometimes my computer doesn't like to work properly. There we go. Very cool. Let's look at that again here. I'd say not bad. I mean, it's for your first work. It's pretty nice. I think that. Let's see. I mean, the direction that you went in was, you know, kind of random. But this is kind of what's good about this is when you do animation like that, at least you can learn, you know, what the results of your timing are. You know, like let's say if you time things to be quick or kind of slow, adding frames or doing eases in and eases outs, and you know, you could try different frame rates. So all this stuff is great. Like if you're starting out and you do something like this, you learn a lot really fast. So you know, it's not like a feature film quality animation or anything, but it's good. It's not bad at all. Let me see here. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Nope. Okay. So, what are you saying here now? So Beard is making mention of, isn't Wes Anderson making a new... Yep. Yeah, Wes Anderson's making another stop motion film. That's true. I can't remember what it is, though. And Henry Selick, I haven't heard anything about. You know, I'm not sure what's going on with him. You know, rumor has it that it's difficult to work with him sometimes. You know, I don't really know. Like, maybe there's some reason. Like, sometimes you hear about movie stars, they kind of disappear, and then you hear some rumors that nobody wants to work with them. And it's kind of like that with Henry that, I've heard. But, you know, it's all just rumors, and who really knows. But hopefully he'll be making something cool, because he has pioneered stop motion in so many ways, from, motion control, using more of it on Nightmare Before Christmas, to, the 3D printed faces for Coraline, which is like a major breakthrough for the whole. I mean, Leica has based all of their films after Coraline on what Henry Selick, pushed the boundaries of. So, I mean, Henry's an amazing person, but, I don't really see much out there with him right now. Haven't heard any news. And Jenna is asking, and Brian is saying, do I have 8 minutes? I don't know. I could die in 30 seconds of a heart attack, so I don't know. I might have 8 minutes. But there's no promises. Janet says, Mark, send you sometimes stop motion from Disney, and well, you can if you want to. I think there's been a lot of like Play-Doh stuff. You notice that? Like on all this Play-Doh animation. And the person that's making all of these animations is, what's his name again? But look at how popular this video is. It's been viewed 253 million times. It's an amazing amount of views for one. I mean, like I told you guys, I was like, oh, I've been on YouTube for 10 years and we finally got 1 million views on our videos. This one has 253 million views, just one video. But that's really amazing. Oh, his name is Pablo Lorenz. Pablo Lorenz is making all of these stop motion videos for Play-Doh. He's an awesome animator. Let's see here. Yeah, sure, Gav. You know, it's pretty cool to see what other people do and their process and the way they think about how to handle a shot like yours, with like morphs and things and adding music to it and the timing. It's really cool to see how you did that. And so Ron Cole says, Gav, were you using any animation software or did you just shoot blind? And Gav says, back then I just used my iPad. Wow. That's pretty good for an iPad. And Beard says, yeah, it seems like his name pops up on something and then it disappears, at least since his project at Pixar got dropped when Disney favored the Marvel deal. Yeah. Well, hopefully, like I say, you know, he'll be doing something here soon. I know he's got tons of creative juices. Like, I know he's got it in him to make films. Maybe, you know, he just needs to go it alone. Like, maybe he should be the producer of a film, you know, and just hire some people and just work his magic. I think if he were in charge of a film, you know, it would be perfect. All right. Well, anyway, what time is it? It is 1 minute to 9 o'clock. Well, I guess that does wrap up our show for tonight, for this week. Until next week. And, of course, as always, where are we? Your welcome screen. I should probably move that. Let's move that over. There we go. All right. So anyways, so I do want to thank you guys for visiting. And, of course, visit animateclay.com. That's our main website. And we have, you know, of course, it's free to be a member. And you can share your work there with others, like people that are visiting tonight. And you can critique each other's work. Also, if you like our videos, of course, subscribe to support us. And we're on Twitter at AnimateClay. And on Facebook, we're at AnimateClayFan. And the intro music to all of our live shows is provided by Monster Cat. All right, so anyway, guys, thanks a lot for stopping by, and hopefully I'll see you next week. See you all later.